It's going to be a
So
stand-up
speaking,
fight,
let's talk about that. We talked about horror a little bit, and this could still fit in there. But let's talk about what are the best sequels. What sequels were at least equal to, if not even elevated, the original movie?
Not to study, not to bring back.
Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, the sequels were way better than the first one because the first one doesn't even have Jason in it.
Yeah.
All right,
I would even dare say Nightmare on Elm Street of like, it gets a little tricky, but
I like the sequels a lot. No, don't get me wrong. Freddy's Dead is the only one I don't like. All the other ones, even the ones where you got more silly, I like them because they still had inventive kills, and there's like a whole separate trilogy, like 3, 4, and 5 are all a trilogy following just a separate character.
Yeah.
They do that in like Tommy in the later versions or later sequels of Friday the 13th. It's its own trilogy, and that's cool. Like I like that, but I would say for me, I would list Empire Strikes Back superior to Star Wars. Godfather 2 equal, if not a tiny bit better, because you have Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And let's see, I would say that the Fast and Furious sequels for sure. Like the first one's not that great of a movie. Like the fact of where they're at now is much more of an enjoyable film. Like I'm not talking about the quality of the writing or anything like that.
Sure.
But the 5 is awesome. Like when The Rock first joined, I love Tokyo Drift, even though it barely has anything to do with the rest of it. Just because I like drift racing, it's cool.
Sure.
Let's see what else we got. Aliens, right? Great sequel to that.
Right.
What else do we got here, people?
Terminator 2.
Oh yeah,
Terminator
Superior.
2 is definitely a better movie than Terminator 1.
It makes watching Terminator 1 better than it is.
Yeah.
Because when you go back, you're like, oh, okay.
That's how I feel about Evil Dead 2, man. Of like,
Well, yeah.
I feel like
they have midnight showings of the first one where people just like quoting it and throwing shit at the screen because it's so ridiculous.
You know what they should have had a sequel of? Shit, I can't think of the name.
Everybody likes that. Oh!
Give me a second, my memory's bad.
What does chat got to say about it? Did they listen to any sequels on chat? Dead?
Dawn of the Dead, we already talked about that.
Oh, I'm getting some loop central here. Will it go? It came again. Here it is. One more loop.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They do have a sequel to that. It's garbage. They have a sequel to Grease. That's garbage. Like, yeah, there's a lot of movies that you'd be surprised.
What, you like Grease 1?
Huh?
You like Grease 1?
No, I'm just saying a lot of people do. It's just not my type of movie, but I'm like, okay, I can see why people like it. If
Hey,
they like
as a musical, I gotta say, Grease is okay. It's
but
all
the
right.
sequel is like just people don't talk about it. That's why you don't know. Just like the Rocky Horror Picture Show sequel, nobody talks about as well.
But there's midnight showings of that, and people they chime in.
The first one, yeah, but the second one, no. It's just plain bad. It's not so bad. It's good.
Kim says Ragnarok better than the first Thor.
Movement.
I think.
Yeah, first and second Thor. Yes, Ragnarok is a great sequel. Obviously, Infinity War and Endgame are the best sequels, but all Avenger movies were good.
These people are here to protect.
But like the accumulation of all that storytelling.
Stop your grinning and drop
I'm trying to
your
think of The
linen.
Conjuring to remember if the second one was better. I don't think it was.
The Purge sequels are better than the first one.
Yeah, the Purge sequels are definitely, for sure.
And this isn't saying that the original movie was garbage. We're just saying that it's better in some way or it added more to it. John Wick. Oh, yeah, John Wick for sure, I would say. The sequels. I mean, the first one's amazing. But how the choreography and the stuff that they added to the sequels is just amazing.
Yeah, so that's where I'm hung up on. So James Wan did both Conjuring 1 and 2.
And he also does the other one, too. What's the other series that came out around then? The one...
Insidious.
Yeah, he does both of those, I think.
Oh, there's a third Insidious, The Red Door?
Yeah.
I will watch
It
this.
just came out, yeah. It just came out.
Insidious was a good horror. Like,
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
I think it was, you know, pretty interesting. You know, paranormal worlds. There's like this afterlife. They kind of, you know, dive into the abyss and all of that. It's like, no, I like it. I like it. I think it's cool.
You got problems.
We do. What's my score on this thing?
Aliens. Yeah, post my score.
Screwing around.
Damn it.
You have 62 million on Aliens.
You got to get to that mode right there.
Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't we think of that? That's...
Yeah. That one for sure is a legit movie. Like, that is good.
That is probably to this day the best continuation of a storyline from a TV show.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I definitely say that. That reminded me of something else, and now I can't freaking remember it.
I've watched Star Trek.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. I like the first one. I really like this. My second one's my favorite one. Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic Immunity.
Yep.
And I like 3 too. And 2 and 3 also had Joe Pesci too. Playing. All right, okay, yeah. Come on, okay. Like just having him play like such a different than because everybody knew him as like the mafia guy.
Small little mafia dude.
But it reminded me of another series, and I just forgot it. So here, that's actually true also for the next gen movies because Generations isn't that great of a movie, but First Contact with the Borg is a much superior. I'm talking about the next gen Star Trek movies.
Yeah, the new generation, and that is superior. That is for sure. I like the first Star Trek movie. I think they
No,
took
it's not. It's not. No, I'm talking about just the next gen movies are their own subset. So if you look at Generations, which was the first next gen movie with Picard and all them, it's not that great. But the next one was First Contact, which had the Borg. It had time travel and learning how we first got hyperspace and all that. It was a much superior movie. And then the rest of the sequels are garbage. Insurrection, not great.
So James Wan, because I'm looking at it, because I was trying to figure out. I remember the director and didn't remember the title. That's a bad thing. He directed Furious 7.
Yeah, he directed Furious 7. He's also directed both Aquaman movies. He also was the one who wrote and directed the first Saw movie.
And Saw 2.
Yeah. He was the one who they made. It was a short film that him and somebody else made.
And Saw 3 and Saw 4. James Wan was on that project for a while.
That's what solidified him as a good horror director and writer.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to kind of just do whatever. But also to like, hey, look, he's got the Conjuring, he's got all this other stuff that he's a part of, and then he's like, I'm gonna go direct Fast 7. Like that's just, and then like, oh, now I'm gonna do Aquaman. Like those are all completely different movies.
Oh, for sure, for sure. There is a Megan 2.0 coming out. Megan? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
There's another one coming out. James Wan's the director. Hey, does 20 million beat your score?
Like 65 or something.
Okay.
Just tell me one
But
thing, Bert.
if you watch the
going out to
original
do this.
Star Trek movie,
Sigourney
it is
Weaver.
so boring. It's pretty, but like the docking of the Enterprise is like the first 30 minutes of the movie. No joke.
Okay.
If you have not seen it for a while, folks,
All right.
yeah, and it's just, it was enough that they were able to get a sequel.
Film order. Let's go with that.
Screwing around.
James Bond has a lot of superior sequels. We're talking about just if we group them
Dude.
by the Bond people, like just
Right,
who
right.
they are.
Because Sean Connery, like,
Yeah,
follow-
Man with Golden Gun and Diamonds Are Forever to me are his best movies.
or
which
Pierce
the last
Brosnan as Bond.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever topped Goldeneye in his run.
No, I don't think so either.
So yeah, so on him, Timothy Dalton, both movies that he did were amazing.
Yeah,
Roger Moore,
Roger Moore.
For Your Eyes Only is the only. So the first one, can't remember what it's called. Then he did the stupid like Moonraker and Octopussy, which is so stupid. And then he did For Your Eyes Only, and it was probably the best he ever did. And then he came back for A View to Kill, where he was like 57. And this is 80s 57, where people did not look good at 57. Not like now. And they're like, if he just would have ended, right? But if we look, I think No Time to Die was the best sequel that Craig did.
Craig Daniel, yeah.
But I think Casino Royale was the best Bond movie he did. I don't think anybody, even though No Time to Die is really good, but Quantum of Solace is garbage.
I liked it.
Dude, they did it during a writer's strike. Like, they've even come out being like, yeah, it was an unfinished movie. We just had to get it done because it costed money. Like, that's why they don't even really talk about it. Like, the producers and him. So that's why he came back for a third one.
But maybe not Quantum Solace. Maybe I'm getting that confused. I could be getting confused.
There's another one that he did that was,
You got problems.
the hell was it? I don't know. It was the one where they bought back Blowfield because it was the first time they had the rights back to him.
Yeah.
And it was just boring. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, wait a minute. Skyfall's his best Bond movie. Duh! And that's the sequel.
Yeah, I was about to say it because it's not Casino Royale. It's a good movie, don't get me wrong. I really appreciated that. But
Skyfall is basically The Night Rises. It's the same story. Except that it's not Batman, it's Bond. If you actually go, you can go online, folks, and you can look at all the comparisons of the story, and all they did was take Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight and adapt it to James Bond. But if your movie's already amazing, speaking of Nolan, I want to see Oppenheimer so bad.
me too.
Nolan's one of my favorite directors. I've loved every single movie he's ever done.
What are you doing
100%.
tomorrow? Let's go tomorrow.
I had those plans, remember?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see if they fall through. Who knows? I don't trust people anymore.
Well,
These people are here to protect you. They're soldiers.
Talking about
Yo!
best
Stop your
sequels.
grinning and drop your linen. Found them.
nope. Didn't get it that time.
Guardians 3 is the best of the trilogy. And that's hard to do when you do a trilogy. Like, if we use something like Godfather 3 is garbage. Like, Coppola had to re-edit it recently, and it's still not that great. It's better than it was, but he's admitted that he should have never had his daughter have an actual starring part in it. Because she couldn't act. She's a great director. She directed Lost in Translation and a bunch of other stuff, but she's not a good actress.
Okay.
And she's come out and been like, yeah, but that's what happens. Sometimes people play favoritism. My daughter, put her in the movie. And he's Italian. He's not. I don't know what that sounds. I don't know what that was.
Screw around.
Bypass
I don't know how to
failed.
I don't know how to do the bypass.
No, fuck you.
This can't be happening.
Got balls
This
saved
can't
on it, but
happening.
All right, here's a question. Since we're talking about horror and sequels, do you think any of the Scream sequels are better than the first Scream?
ooh, that's actually a very good question because
Because I just watched the two new ones, the ones that Wes Craven didn't do. I liked them. I was like,
Yeah.
the way they took them is continuing the commentary. I like Scream 6 was dope because they're like never been in a big city. Even though 3 takes place on in Hollywood, it's still mostly on backlots and stuff. So it's still like claustrophobic. And
Right.
6 is also the only movie to have actually 2 killers.
You got problems.
And like,
Yeah.
yeah, I liked 6 a lot. I liked 5 a lot. The meta-ness of having it be a franchise and then doing something that they wanted to do, a legacy sequel, which is really popular right now.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. All those movies were commentaries on like horror in general and basically not just horror, but also sequels and things like that. I really think that, I think all of them are good.
I just gotta get my score down on here because I don't think I even have a score.
You got 6 million.
Give me just a sec. 6 million.
688012.
Just tell me.
Oh man, I did not do good.
Screw it around.
How do I navigate this
Use the mouse.
shit? I see it.
That's why I have it set up like that, because the touch screen's starting to go out. So at some point we need to pitch in on some cheap tablet, you know?
Yeah, for
This
sure.
can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Come on, mode start. Right, each time you do this loop, it goes up. So it's 250, 500. Oh, it didn't go. Get him. Ah, ball 1 locked.
Movement.
What the fuck? James Wan directed Mortal Kombat?
Which one? The newest one?
Yeah.
Huh. You sure it's directed and you're not looking at producing?
Stop your
Yeah,
pen
he's
and
got to be a
drop your
producer
linen.
because it was directed by
Found
Simon McQuaid.
Yeah. So I think some of those other movies he might have been
A
like
producer on.
producer on all the sauce. 'Cause I think it was like only the first one I think he shot. No.
Yeah, he's not a director in Megan 2.0 either.
Yeah, no, he's produced. That's what I thought too. I was like, wow, he didn't direct the first one. Why would he do the second one? Yeah, like IMDb and all that stuff, they don't like easily tell you when it switches to a different role, like director to producer.
It just gives you credits of what they've done. I'm like, okay.
No! How's everybody feeling about some Pinball FX? This is our first time playing it on stream. Ball 2 locked. And I haven't even done any of my favorite modes. I'm definitely getting ramp central. But this next one will be 1,000,000. See, there you go. That's how you do that. 1,000,000. See, look, this is how you do it right here. Because every time I do this, 1,000,000.
Have you seen La Llorona?
1,000,000. I don't know what that is. It sounded like gibberish that you just said.
It's Spanish.
1,000,000.
That's-
1,000,000.
Basically, it's an old Mexican fairy tale. Oh, it's not a fairy tale. It's definitely horror. It's like definitely.
I mean, it could be a fairy tale to some.
But this woman, her husband cheats and she takes the children and drowns them
This
in the
is a
river.
clip right here. I've
then,
done this loop.
Yeah.
I'm at 20 million because I did that loop 15 times. If you just can. Oh! I
Keep
still-
going. Keep going.
Damn it. Come on. There, see, but now it starts back over. See, 25,000. The mode is not being lit, and I don't know why. Because that's what you want. You got to do the missions if you really want to score high on these tables. Ah!
Still too soon. Still
Ah, no, not enough. Here it is. This is the one right here. Boom. Hit mode start. Hit mode start. Come on, I gotta get that mode start. What does it want me to do to select the mode? Here it is. Nope.
Looks like all of them.
Here it is. I like this one. Watch. You get the mini game up here.
Sub-level 3 and the main cooling towers.
Classic mini game.
Oh. Oh, I went the whole way too. Come on. Oh, why did I move?
No, I smashed.
I think if I get hit one more time. I got 1.5 million, but if you finish it, you get like 15. Right now, stuff's going down. Mode is lit. There's the aliens coming at me. Sorry, I got to save. Hit. Oh, that guy's there. Ah, come on. Come on, get this guy. Oh, he got me. There it is. I got that one. Come on, come back down.
So, chat. What's your favorite comedy movie, chat? Give me any comedy. Any comedy. The one that you would throw on again and again. Something that you're going to repeat watching. Something that's tried and true for you.
I'd say Scott Pilgrim because that movie's so hilarious. I quote that movie. Even though it's a comedy, it is a comedy though. Like it's definitely like one-liners and just everything about it is ridiculous.
Oh, for sure. I gotta say, I'm a basic bitch. I like Happy Gilmore.
See, the reason I don't like any of those movies is because my dad had regular TV like in the early 2000s when I moved back home, and CBS played every stupid movie, like played that movie all the time, Talladega Nights, like 20 times a day, that it became not funny. It's different when I decide to watch it over and over again. It's different when it's always on there. A lot of those movies just got overplayed too much, and Happy Gilmore was one of them for me. And I wish that I wouldn't have had seen it that way because I do like the movie. See, I hate TBS. Ted Turner ruined it.
He ruined Montana. Anyway, I have not seen it on TV, so I don't know that as to be the case. So I've only ever seen it, whenever I've wanted to watch it. So
yeah, TBS had it on all the time. That and like the early Jim Carrey movies.
Oh yeah, like Liar Liar.
Liar Liar, they're definitely the most.
I've had better. I love that line though. So how was it? I've had better. With Lucy Lawless?
Could we put one of the remote
there it is.
In the tunnel and I seal that
My
door?
Xeno Warrior.
Setting up defenses. I'm down with that.
You can't tell me that Lucy Lawless is not attractive in that Xena uniform, like leather armor.
I like small and petite, so you're not going to get anything out of me.
Fair enough.
I'm not saying that there's not any small petite girls that can beat me up, but definitely Xena could. God, comedies. I know I have so many like 80s comedies. Oh, Weekend at Bernie's. I love Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay.
Because I just like the ridiculous, like Gremlins 2. That's a straight comedy because Joe Dante did not want to make a sequel, and they're gonna make a sequel without him. So he's like, okay. And basically, the movie is talking shit about Warner Brothers. Like the whole thing is all just a fuck you movie, and I'm like, that in itself is awesome.
Yeah, it deserves this credit. Actually, and that ties into what we were just talking about. The sequel's better than the first.
Well, I don't know. They're so different, though.
They are so different, but because there's the social commentary element to it, of
Well,
like, it could be argued. It could be argued.
You could be, yeah. Yeah, but we're never gonna get that bypass. That's for sure. But here's the thing: like, do you think action comedies count?
Oh yeah, it's still comedy.
I also like The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. National Lampoon, the first one.
I laughed the shit out of Your Highness with Danny McBride.
Okay, I've never seen it.
I like Danny McBride. I like his sense of humor of like, where he's like this overconfident, cocky son of a bitch of like.
Don't know why I didn't remember this. Never Stop, Never Stopping with Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
That movie is so hilarious. Like we watched it and then immediately watched it again. And that I rarely get that. I was like, I just like him in general. I think he's absolutely hilarious. I like all that Lonely Island stuff.
Right,
like,
I do too.
And that Brooklyn Nine-Nine show was amazing.
I didn't see the show.
You should see the show. Terry Crews I love Terry Crews. He's in it too. Like, it's a really good show.
Yeah, Terry Crews is actually a good actor too. Of like.
And he's like super funny.
Yeah.
Like, because really most people know him as singing that Vanessa Carlton song.
Yeah.
And White Chicks. I do not like White Chicks. Sorry, people.
Oh, he was also in Friday.
Yeah.
Or Friday After Next. Which one?
I don't know, one of them.
Yeah, he was
Or
in one
maybe
Friday.
more than one.
Which Friday's also a good movie. Friday After Next is a good one.
Because then I would also go Super Cop 2, Jackie Chan. Because if it's action comedy,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I would definitely say like the first Rush Hour. Because him and Chris Tucker, like I really like that.
I like the action that more than I like the humor. I thought it was funny, but it doesn't rank that high for me as far as a comedy. Yeah.
They've been trying to do a fourth one forever and just never. Chris Tucker doesn't really act anymore, for whatever reason. Because I definitely Beverly Hills Cop, because that's more. You literally, there's action in it, but nobody thinks of Eddie Murphy as some tough action guy.
Right.
Because then I would also go to Golden Child. I really like that movie. Most all the comedy I like is in the 80s. I don't know why.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun for sure. Yes.
Airplane.
Airplane.
Dude.
What are we doing here, folks?
We're actually activating our memory of like
Monty Python. Like, come on.
Yeah. Before we finalize any answers, let's actually have a dialogue before we're like settled on an answer.
Yeah, because we can't remember. All right, we're getting the
Spinal
ball's on
Tap
fire.
and Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Those are dope movies.
See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Richard Pryor and Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
That's one of my tops. Me and my dad used to watch that all the time.
Coming to America.
But I'm doing. Like my dad quotes that just randomly.
It's one of the earliest comedies that I remember of like Coming to America was hilarious.
Dr. Strangelove, that's an amazing movie
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's not, and it's social commentary and a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's Stanley Kubrick, whose only other light movie he did was when he did in the mid '70s. I can't remember. That looks like a painting. Every scene's a painting. I was like, this is like, it was not funny. It was just lighthearted. Old School, there's another one.
Old School.
Yeah, I
is
love
awesome.
that movie so much. I actually like Will Ferrell, even if the movie sucks. There's something about just when Will Ferrell goes on screen, I immediately start laughing.
For sure, for sure.
Step Brothers, that movie's amazing too, but also been overplayed.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the overplayed movies are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch that much TV of like.
But I'm sure you know that's been on TV every week.
I've seen a lot. Like I'm more in the generation of like streaming.
Superbad.
Like, Superbad for sure.
Yeah, see, I'm just trying to think things by decade now. Dude, this is the most insane turn.
Pineapple Express.
That's a good movie too. Shaun of the Dead.
I just recently watched
Hot
that.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
At the end of the world, or whatever the last one is, where the world's actually over, with Simon Pegg and what's his face. The world's at its end. I don't know. It's really good. Oh, what's that other one too that came out and it's all the celebrities playing themselves?
End of the world. I think it's really just End of the World.
No, the one I'm talking about by what's his face. It's called the Cornetto trilogy. It's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then it's like At the World's End or the End something. They go on a pub crawl and it's the end of the world.
Let me look up Simon Pegg. The World's End. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all those movies: Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and what'd you say it was? I forgot. At the World's End.
The World's End.
Yeah,
just
the World's End. Those are. It's called the Cornetto trilogy. So it's all by Edgar Wright, who also did Scott Pilgrim. He also did. Oh shit! What is this? What is this? Have you seen this? Oh shit! Okay, that's a weird. I thought it was something else.
Got some multi-ball going.
Balls are on fire. I'm hitting jackpots. I'm about to go into the hundreds of millions, I think.
Now, speaking of that, I think because I bought Paul from with starring Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was a huge letdown.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Like, I see where moments it was supposed to be funny, but the jokes just did not land, man.
You know, Burke, I don't know which.
And Seth Rogen was in that too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There was a point in time, and not everybody knows this, where Seth Rogen became an uber douche and started making movies that weren't funny. If you go through his career, you can see it. And if you see interviews now, he's like dogging other people's movies. Like, he's so elite now. And I'm like, fuck you. You start acting like that, I don't like you anymore.
Right.
You may not like the movie, and that's fine. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion, but don't dog other people.
There's a difference between of like, hey, I'm not a part of that audience.
Yeah.
You can just say it like that.
Like, he's like, I would never be in a Marvel movie ever. I think they're... Like, what? Why do you do that? Why does it matter? So
Yeah.
you don't want to be in a Marvel movie, but you were in fucking Paul. Come on.
That movie sucked.
Yeah. Like, you only have so much far you can go if people can throw rocks right back at you.
Yeah.
All right, give me my score. Well, you do your last turn on this.
Okay.
And
then,
yeah.
we good?
Single player
All right.
results.
Dude, this has got to be hot.
78 million? I'm not changing the screen until I can confirm.
What is that?
Huh? What? Nani?
Like, how does this still not work? Quit. All right, what was it?
78,451,897. That's a new high score. That
It is, for sure.
Did you beat your score?
By a lot, yeah.
Nice.
Beat my score.
Just tell me one thing, Burke.
Sigourney Weaver.
Twins! I love twins, too.
Twins,
And Kindergarten Cop.
Screwing around.
Pretty much most things that Dane...
It's not a
Vito
Tuma.
did.
It's not a Tuma.
Or it could be.
Nope, and I just lost the ball.
This can't be happening, man. This
I
ain't
got a combo,
happening.
but... Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Work with me. Work with me, baby. I just want you so bad.
Oh my God! All right,
Oh.
you want to know, and I don't know why I didn't think of this. Do you know what to me is the funniest movie, and it's not even supposed to be really a comedy,
What's that?
right? Is Dolomite. Dolomite is so hilarious. It was the first movie I ever watched stoned, so that a special place in my heart, right?
Right.
But that movie is just so unintentionally funny. It just, I mean, that's why literally Netflix made a movie with Eddie Murphy of him playing Rudy Ray Moore, who was Dolomite. Like, it's just so classic. That's why so many of those rappers, like, reference it. It is just, all of the movies are just ridiculous comedies. But the first one he did, oh my God. Like, this is a real thing, folks. Me and a friend, in our mid-teens, were illegally smoking marijuana. And we wanted to watch that movie. We rented it because of the line that Snoop Dogg does was, I be pimping hoes like my name is Dolomite. And we're like, who is Dolomite? And like we found out, and I'm like, we rented the movie and we smoked a joint each, and this was crap weed. You had to do that.
Yeah. Swag.
We
used to call it
watched it,
swag.
and immediately after like the first scene, we were like holding each other's hand for whatever reason, like 2 feet from the screen, in tears. We watched it 3 times in a row. We could recite for years. We would just randomly at parties recite the first half of the movie. And that ain't my shit, and I don't know how it got there. And he does like this weird karate kick where it's so ridiculous. And the cop just falls over like he was hit with a 20-ton brick. We literally, it's because we were super stoned, bro. We looked up, because this is no internet for us at this time. We looked up in the phone book, which we couldn't look up other countries, or other states, so I don't know why we were looking up. We wanted to call the Academy of Motion Pictures to tell them that Dolomite needs, whoever won in 1974, whatever year it was, you take that Oscar away and you give it to Dolomite. Like, we were seriously trying to look up the phone number. We used to watch that movie all the time. I told you! Like, just the way, every time he says something, it's at a different level. Like, that's not, ain't my shit, I know how I got there. I told you! Like, they saw, like, whoa! And it's just so, all the other actors were just people they grabbed off the street.
You're not a fan of trauma films, are you?
You have to name them for me to know.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist?
Poultry.
Oh, no. I don't know what that is.
Zombie chickens tonight, and we're all gonna die. I like terrible movies. And the best place to start is trauma films.
We didn't even acknowledge fucking The Room being one of the funniest fucking movies ever.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
the funniest movie that wasn't intended to be funny. By far. There's nothing that wasn't intended to be funny that is more funny.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's made by this guy who just had money to put into a film.
That nobody knows how old he is to this day, where he's from, how he funded the movie. He's like a mystery. And I feel like in this era, that's really hard to pull off. Some say he's from Greece. Some say he's from France. Some people say it's more like a Yugoslavia. Because like, you can't directly tell from his accent.
No,
Because it could be any of those places. Turkey, it could be from there.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting skunked here, man. It's happening. It's happening.
You got a higher score last time, didn't you? You got like 6 million.